Comes to mental health, men are often expected to be strong, stoic, and self-sufficient, making it difficult to acknowledge their struggles and ask for help, something we should all be doing. This is especially prevalent in the Black community.
Joining us this morning to help us break the stigma and really encourage conversation is author and certified trauma facilitator, L.A. Wade. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
Ellie, great to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Right off the bat, and I think we have to kind of lay this foundation down every time we talk about mental health, specifically men's mental health.
Yeah.
Why is it so tough for men to talk about this topic?
Because men are providers, and that's how we tell them that they are. They are human doers, not human beings. And so when you're expected to only show up as somebody who is helping you do something, then you neglect the fact that that's a human being over there that has their own wants, desires, needs, and passions that need to be recognized. They don't have any space to talk.
So really maybe that comes down to reframing what we hold as masculinity.
Absolutely.
How do we do that?
Well, specifically in the Black community, with men in particular, they are considered to be men from the time that they're boys. Because we are doers, we have to take care of things. There's a lot of us that we're only now getting into the middle and upper classes of society. And so that class differentiation has really played into how people have been able to provide space because we're too busy going and I have to get to my job. I don't have time for this. I don't want to put my money towards those things. And so we've had to do a lot of non-conventional ways of having therapy. So we may not be calling it therapy, but the barbershop and the basketball court goes a long way.
I mean, let's stay on that topic for a second here, because I mean, it's one thing to get men to talk about mental health.
Yes.
Access to mental health programs and assistance, that's another thing entirely, especially in certain racialized communities. How big of a hurdle, LA, is this?
It's a big hurdle because we also a lot of people in our community don't see it as a problem. And when that happens, a lot of the mental health issues, for not only just anxiety and depression, but schizophrenia, bipolar, they are not being diagnosed because they're not seeing these issues as real. A lot of times you'll hear them talking about, just be prayerful about it, or, just pull yourself up by the bootstraps. But it's very difficult to do that. And then when they do get a chance to go speak to someone, there's a lot of differentiation between the cultural competency that the person that they're talking to has. Yes, it's one thing to have another Black-facing person, but if there is going to be a white or another person there, they have to be culturally competent and sensitive to the issues that that person must be going through.
So if you're watching right now and you are going through something and perhaps you are not part of a family that upholds seeking help,
yes.
What are some of the steps that you can take to really advocate for yourself?
Yeah, I think that it's really important to have the person become brave enough to make that step. If you don't try, you're not going to get a different result. Find someone that you feel comfortable with, that you feel safe with, and have one type of conversation. I think also a lot of men don't have the language around talking about what's bothering them. So the challenge is even further in the fact that they don't want to be seen as weak. So what we want to do is provide safety, give them space. A lot of times men and women will have conversations and us women will jump all over the first thing a man says, and then we don't realize that that's shutting them down even more. So providing space for someone to have a conversation is super important to understanding where they are with it.
You're the mother of 2 boys?
I am. 2 beautiful boys. Hi, Cyrus. Hi, Braden.
Hi, Cyrus. Hi, Braden.
Hi, guys. What do you tell them?
I've always been one that told them that they could always talk to me about anything, and then I've got to prove it. I got to let them talk without judgment. I also have a jar at my house where people can write down what they are feeling. We put it in the jar, and if it's in the jar, that means I can either talk about it or not talk about it, but at least we all know what's going on. And then there's other ways to support people without necessarily even talking. If my son feels like he's scared about something at school, that allows me to go to his teacher and let the teacher know, hey, my son is having a problem. He doesn't know how to talk about it. These are some of the things. You got to, bring in the village to help protect yourself, because a lot of us have different skills that we can rely upon to help us do the things that we want to do.
Yeah, it's really about communication and kind of meeting people where they are.
Exactly.
And so that 1% better, 1% more help.
Yes, and when they're younger, one thing that I really did that I want to share with people is that when my son was having a little bit of a breakdown, when he was really young, I would put his hand on his heart and I would say to him, don't speak until it slows down. feel fast that is? Because we say things that we don't mean a lot of the times when we're going too fast.
I love that.
I felt like we went too fast.
We're gonna come back.
I need more time with you. Where
we
can
do.
people find you online?
They can find me at thisislawade.com for my website, and on Instagram I'm thisislawade Inc. INC.
Don't be a stranger.
Yeah.
Thank you so